Hey there, welcome to LSAT Demon Daily. I'm Nathan Fox, that's Ben Olson. Together, we're the founders of LSATdemon.com and our weekly podcast, Thinking LSAT. We got an email here from PY. I guess it could be Pi. I don't know, PY.
Hello, Ben and Nathan, exclamation point. I'm a loyal, not a lawyer. I'm a loyal user of LSAT Demon and just got my October scores back. I have a few questions for y'all. 1, do people usually reach their full potential after taking a few tests?
No.
2, is it bad to take the LSAT 4-ish times?
Ooh, it depends what we're talking about here. I mean, we're talking about taking the official test 4-ish time. That first question made me think like that it was
Practice
about
test.
prep.
Yeah.
But the second question makes me think that the first question is about actually taking the official test. And so then at that point, I worry that you might not be doing enough practice tests and you're just kind of rolling the dice over and over and over on the official test, which is not a great plan. Different people reach their potential on completely different timelines. For some people, it's going to be a month or two. Other people, it's going to be a year or two.
Let's read this and see what else PY has to say. Some background information. I've been using Demon Basic for about 3 months. I started with a diagnostic of 150-ish. PY, you like the ish. Not sure about the exact number. To a 162. That's the first time you took a timed test in the Demon. And then to a 177 a week before the October LSAT. Okay, so you went from the 150s to 177 in your prep. That's incredible.
That's awesome. Yeah, great. Congratulations.
Yeah. The average of my last 5 prep tests before my October LSAT was 173 to 174. Okay, that's your average. I'm curious what your range is. But anyways, however, in the actual test, I assumed that the very difficult reading comp section, we'll edit this out, was the experimental and let my guard down. I also, that's a really bad mistake.
That's super bad mojo, man. Like you're thinking about the experimental section. I hate that. You got to stop. You got to stop that. As far as you know.
And this is weird too, because it's like, oh, this passage was difficult. Therefore, this whole section is probably experimental. Why couldn't it just be a hard reading comp passage? Which it turned out to be.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, it also probably wasn't as hard as you think it was. Like you had a hard time with it, but the right answers are going to be defensible based on what it said in that passage. And so I fear that people might, because I just know that people do this. They have the experimental section as this like boogeyman in their head. And then when they see something challenging, it's easy for them to go, oh, that's the experimental section. This one's not going to count for me.
They want it to be the experimental section. Right. So they come up with whatever reason they can to believe that it is. Yeah.
Right. It's wishful thinking, and you know what you're not thinking about? You're not thinking about that actual reading comprehension passage that's in front of your face. Yeah. And then you're going to just completely crash and burn. So you got to stop doing that. I mean, when you're taking the official test, you cannot tell that it's an experimental section unless they tell you that it's an experimental section, which they have actually done once before. But otherwise, you need to assume that this is a scored section always. And that's your error there. I mean, that's just a mental game mistake. Yep.
Okay. But so far, though, it sounds like PY has only taken the test officially once. So I'm confused about the 4-ish times, but we'll get back to that. Yeah. So PY continues. So he let his guard down, he or she, and didn't do well with games, which apparently is historically my weak spot, ended up with a 170.
No, what are you doing? Okay. I mean, yeah. So chalk it up to a bad day, but also get better at games so that you're going to score perfect on games every time.
Yep. PY continues, I'm happy with a 170, but really want to reach my potential and be greedy like you guys have always recommended. I want to apply with a 175. and am planning to take the test for 2 to 3 more times next year before I apply in September. What do y'all think of my plan? Thanks again for being so awesome. Okay, well, I don't really care that you're thinking about taking it multiple times as long as you're just focused on the next one and being ready for the next one.
Yeah, you should go ahead and plan on, you're going to kick ass on the next one and you're going to have a backup for that.
Yep.
And if you end up using the backup, you're going to kick ass on that one and have a backup for that.
Yep.
The only time that's not going to be the case is when you get, closer to your limit, but 4 times is you're going to be able to do that and then apply in September. And so I love it. I especially love that you want to be greedy here. I mean, and to be honest, I don't think you should be happy with your 170. I mean, I'm not saying that's a bad score. I'm just saying you can do better. For some people, that would be a dream score, and I would tell them you should be over the moon about that. But for you, you've documented that you can actually score a 177 on a practice test and 5 average in 173 to 174. You should not be happy with that 170.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, whatever. You'll never be a 169 ever again. The law schools are going to consider you as at least a 170 forever for the rest of your life. And that's cool.
Yep.
But you need to take it again, and you potentially need to take it again multiple times, because otherwise you're going to be clearly not getting a score on record that really represents what you're capable of.
Agreed. Thanks for writing in.
Thanks, PY. Email daily@lsatdemon.com if you'd like to ask us a question or share some LSAT or law school admissions news. Thanks for listening.